Hello, all. So, today we are talking about a very awesome project that is URL Shortener. It is one of very common project, but it involve a lot of awesome concept. Okay, so server client ka concept you will understand, request response concept you will understand how you can connect with Firebase database with the help like about authentication and Firestore and these kind of things Firebase can provide. So we'll be learning all that and connecting all that, and as well as we will be learning के और क्या हो सकता है, what else we can do with this whole infrastructure. So we'll be connecting with small structure of front end, we'll be connecting small structure on the back end, but in total you will understand a lot of good things about Firebase, Express, Node, and how you can connect them. Okay, so a bit basic knowledge of JavaScript is good, but thoda bahut agar if you don't know, it will do fine, even if you do not know much about it. So let me just add my screen to it so that we can start. Okay, thoda sa, if you guys want to introduce yourself in the comment section and things, you can do. Are we will be using Node.js and Mongo in the session. So generally when we do this kind of session we used to do use Mongo, but for the current session I'm touching a different topic. Today we'll be using Firestore. Firebase have a inbuilt database Firestore. We'll be using that because we want to cover that in this session. Okay, awesome. uh Christima, I will be speaking in English only, but just for the sake of some funny words I may speak Hindi, but the session will be in English, don't worry about that. This is I'm from, just one second. I'm from Bits Pilani and I'm a front end developer. Awesome. So, welcome everyone. Uh, Invite your friends as well so that we have a awesome, great session today. And we are just about to start with the content. Okay, so if we talk about what is a server and what is a client, okay, so whatever can put up a request is a client. If we put up a server, if this device is putting up a request, then it is a client, and the person responding to it is the server. Okay, as simple as that. There's nothing great about it. It is very simple. uh, hmm. Happy New Year to all. Certainly, Happy New Year to all. Do we get a certificate for ending this session? Yes, you will get a certificate. You don't have to worry about that. If you have filled the form, then you will get a certificate for this. Hello World is asking, I'm noob to programming. How should I start? Because the most important thing is data structure algorithm. If you start with that, be it Java, JavaScript, Python, or any language, you can use that. Okay, and with the help of that, you can learn data structure algorithms, and then you can move forward with any framework and things like that. Okay. mm, yep. Skills certificates, that is right. Shubham is saying solid do it skill is very greater than certificates. That is really true. If generally what we suggest is that don't be here for certificates, but it is more like, okay, if you get pacified with the help of certificates, because of that we provide certificates. Okay, so that we can attract more and more people, and you guys can get really what make sense. Okay, so even though you do not have current that tendency to learn, but we want to put that spark in you. Awesome. So we were talking about server and client. Whatever can put up a request as a client, and whatever can respond as a server. Okay, and today what we'll be doing, we will be creating a similar kind of thing with the help of JavaScript. So for that, let me do one thing. Let me create an application, desktop, new folder, w workshop JavaScript, and create, open. Okay. Okay. So probably everyone know, what, which editor this is. This is VS Code. So we will be doing everything we will do today in VS Code, but you don't have to have VS Code. What you can do, you can install in Node and npm. Node is the environment system and npm is the package management, so you can use that. The second thing that we'll be doing today is we will create an empty node project. Let me just zoom in so that it is comfortable for you all. Okay, so we are creating an empty project. Npm, with the help of npm, we are initiating an, in it is initiate an empty project. Dash y is so that it doesn't ask us any question. Now we have a JSON file. In that we can add the dependencies. So obviously we'll be having a few dependencies. The dependencies I'm talking about today is npm install express firebase admin, and we'll be using body parser. You don't have to worry about that because you will find all these files within the package JSON. Okay, so right now I'm just putting up so that I don't have to keep on installing these things again and again, but you don't have to worry about that. Okay, because whenever we use something, I will be showcasing. Okay, so we are using this for that, this for that, this for that, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so we are installing express firebase admin and body parser for now. If we we might need something else for something else, but you don't have to worry about that. We will see that point when we need it. Okay, awesome. So we have installed express firebase admin and body parser. Now next thing what we have to do, just one second. We have to copy paste express hello world. So we'll copy paste the hello world program for express, and we will discuss this. Let's create a new file, paste it, and discuss it. So what we are doing now, we have express is our JavaScript server kind of thing. So what is happening from this line is that we are creating the instance of express, and from that we are creating an app instance, and we are saying that we will be running our app on port number 3000. As simple as that. Okay, so but we have only created the integer here. So what we need to create now, we need to create the routes, so that we are saying that this app, when some request comes in to the slash, we have a request and response object associated to it. So you understand that we are saying that server is something which can accept a request and respond. So for that we need two variables. So this is the request that falls in, and this is the response that gets out. The request object can provide anything that comes in within the request, and response object can help you with the things that we want to do with the response. So when we want to respond to a request, for the response object we can put dot send, and whatever we put in this will respond to the client. Okay, whatever we put in this will respond to the client. So that's it. We create a function and we say that if some request fall into the root location, we respond hello world to that. As simple as that. If any request falls into the slash, we respond hello world. Okay, great. Then what we're simply saying that listen to this port number, and when you are able to start to listen, then execute this statement that console log we are listening to port number 3000. As simple as that. Okay, we execute node index.js. Cool. It is saying that we are able to run on this port, and if you follow this link you will be able to find it. Just 1 second, let me showcase this for you. On our local host 3000, if we execute, we find this hello world. Boom. Okay, this makes sense to everyone. This is what we wanted to make. Okay. Hmm. Cool. Everybody is able to follow till this point. Guys, sometime it may happen that you may find that code is a bit too fast, but don't worry about that. What you simply can do, you can just understand what I'm saying, what I'm doing right now. You might follow along, you might not follow along, but eventually the code will be pushed, the video will be there, so you will be able to get all these content. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. Hmm. So what we do next? We say that we want another location. Okay, and we can say that hello from another. Makes sense. Not index.js. And now if we go for another location, hello from another. Okay, so we are able to have different routes, different locations from which we can to the locations we can put up the request. Okay, that makes sense. That we have the slash another, and if we put request to this method will invoke and we will get this response. If we put request to another, then this will invoke and we will get this response. Okay, as simple as that. This is good. And obviously this is our app, not example app, and we are moving forward with this. Great. So now what next? We have made this slash, we have made this slash another, but we want to understand how to intercept the requests. Okay, so to intercept we want to create middlewares. And what are middlewares? Whenever we put up a request to the server, before getting to the what should I say, to the exact route, it passed through some middlewares, and middleware can do a lot of things like authentication. Okay, so you want to check if this request belong to particular user or not, or if all these kind of thing you can provide with the help of middleware. Okay, so let me just do this thing. Let me just say that we want to create this middleware, and for that what we can simply say app.use and use this middleware. And this middleware have three part: request, response and next. Okay, so obviously you know what exactly are request and response. Okay, so request is the request that we got, response is the response we provided, and next is what to do after this middleware thing is done. Okay, so just a confirmation check. So you guys are able to hear me properly, see me properly or not? Is there anything like audio video issue or like screen issue? Is there any problem that you guys are facing in this session? Let me know so that I can correct that. Except of that, we can move forward. Everybody is fine. Everybody is able to see things. Font is perfect. Everything is fine. Great. Okay. So we have request, response, and next. So what will happen in the request part? So if we want to check some parameters, the select query parameters we got, like these kind of thing, we can get that with the help of request. If we want to send something back, like we want to say that we intercepted the request, boom. Okay, we restart the server, we go for another, we intercepted the request, we go for root, we intercepted the request. Okay, whatever location we are opening, we are getting the same response because we intercepted as a middleware, and we just said that now respond with this, do not do anything for the next, just respond with this. So because of that, this is the happening. But what if we say that we will only console log with this, and then we will simply call the next. Okay, every time we will call the next will be the exact location where we are pointing to after this. Okay, so what will happen now? With the help of 3000, we are seeing hello world, but we are seeing that we intercepted the request. And same way, if we go for another hello from another, and still we intercepted the request. Okay, so we are able to intercept all the request with the help of use. Okay, and we will be creating an intercept for all the static files. Okay, so we are saying that with the help of const static is equal to express dot static, or maybe we want to create the folder name public in which we want to put up our static files. All the static files will be in the public folder, as simple as that. So we can create this new folder and we can call it public. Okay, I can put a file in it. Okay, like index.html, and I can create a HTML. Sorry, hello from HTML. Awesome. Obviously, what we want to do now, let me just comment this one, and we are using this middleware for this static middleware, and with the help of that we are able to reciprocate, we are able to put up our files. Good, that's great. So what if we do this now? Sorry, we didn't restarted the server. Hello from HTML. Okay, we wanted to make this, and this is happening. Obviously you guys might have a confusion, like we still have this slash, but this slash is responding to this particular file. So what exactly happen is that index.html is the root file. Okay, by default is the root file. If you don't change it, if there is an index.html, it will respond as the root file. Okay, in any folder. So what exactly is happening right now, that on the slash, it is just responding to this index.html because it is able to intercept this as a middleware. Okay, if we simply remove this middleware and we restart the server, now it will reciprocate to this. So because of this endpoint right now is useless. We are able to just get to this location. Sorry, not another. With the help of 3000, we are able to reach to hello from HTML. As simple as that. You're able to understand till this point, guys. Okay, cool. So if you're able to understand till this point, then we can move forward to the next step, where we'll be understanding how we can create a simple form where we can put the data to the server. Okay, so because right now we have this get request, so we will also create a post request where we will get the server from the client. Okay, sorry, data from the client. Okay, so for that we want a bootstrap form, probably W3 school form. How about this form? Okay, we have this form where we have email, password, these kind of thing. We can simply copy paste it in our HTML. Right, not this, the complete form. Okay, done. So if we simply save it and refresh our page, we are getting this form. Okay, right now we only have email, password, but what are the informations that we want to put? Okay, so the information that we want to put are username, password, our short, because what we are doing today is we are creating something like bitly. And what bitly do, that bit.ly slash something, and that request will point toward what you want to point toward. So that like you want to open a Google form. Now you can put that there, and you will have your own Google form located on that point. Okay, so you want your username, your password, your short, and your complete URL. Okay, the short and complete URL. Okay, as simple as that. So we need to change that. We need to remove this checkbox, but we need to create two more chunks. Okay, now we have these four. Okay, we will need to create a basic editing. Okay, so like instead of this email, or maybe we can just leave the email, or maybe username. Let's keep email for here right now. uh, we have email, we have password, these things we are not changing. Then what we have short. Okay, for that we create short as name, and type is text, the content that we want to put in it, and the ID and short URL that you want to put. And same way we can say that this is the complete URL. Okay, for URL, type text that we want to put, URL, enter complete URL. Awesome. Okay, email, password, short, and complete URL. Boom. Okay, so we have updated the basic form that we want to create. Okay, and it was very, very simple. Okay, is static middleware? Yeah, so static is a middleware that we created with the help of express.static. So because of that, this middleware is here, and we are putting up this then app.use, and with the help of that, this static function is now getting request, response, and next, and it is managing on our behalf what to do and how to get the static files and how to respond to them. Okay, so it is happening on our behalf. Okay, so what we want to do now, that if we submit, then we put up the request to the server. But right now what is happening, it is not going to the server, it is simply putting up to the random location like this. Like this action location is the location where we put our in the case of submission, we send our information. But we want to do that. What we want to do, that in case of on submit, we want to run some JavaScript, and with the help of our JavaScript, we want to send some information to the server. Okay, so what we are saying that on submit, we will run our generate short, generate short, and we will send the event that we are getting right now. Okay, so obviously we have this script here in these scripts tag, and I want to create an additional script tag, okay, where we can do some steps like function gen short. We will get the event here, and we will say that this event, first thing we want to do is we want to prevent default action. Okay, so what is the default action? If we do not do this and we rerun this, then what will happen? It will simply send the information to the location it is expecting to send the information. Okay, it will not do anything that we are expecting it to do. It will just do the default thing. Okay, but we want that do not do what you are by default doing. Okay, if we just remove that part, refresh and submit, now it is not doing anything specific that it was already doing. It will now do only the things that we are expecting it to do. Okay, so the things that we are expecting it to do, let us suppose alert sending data, sending. Okay, now it is doing these kind of operation that we are asking it to do. And what we are planning to do with it is that we want to get all the information from form. Okay, like the username. So for username, what you will do, document dot get element by id. What was matlab, we can say that it was not exactly username, right now it is email. Then we have password, we have short, and we have the URL. Make sense? Sorry, short and the URL. Okay, we have all the information. For all the items, we want to get the value of the field. Okay, so we will be just saying that we want the value of this field, we want the value of this field, and we want the value of this field. Great. So what we can say, if we want to put up the data, we can simply say const data is equal to email, password, short, and the URL. Drum roll. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so can you repeat this part again? What we are simply doing, we are simply saying that when you click on this form, when you click submit, then because this button type is submit, it will generate an event, and that event is on submit event. And on this on submit event, we want to call this function gen short with the help of this on submit event, and we want to pass the event. Okay, so we pass the event, and this, because this is by default this is on submit event, it have some initial nature, the things that it generally do. Okay, so what we want to do right now is, just one second. Okay, so what we want to do right now is that we want to get all these information, and probably for right now just console log them. Okay, the next thing that we will do is obviously send them to the server, but before that what we will do, we will simply showcase that it is working fine here. Okay, we are able to get the data. We will just showcase that console log data. We will refresh this, and we will open the console tag, console area. Anuj, password is something, short is something, complete URL is something, and then submit. Okay, okay. Because of the bootstrap, what will happen, it will not allow something that do not fulfill the requirement of email. So it is saying that please include at the rate and blah 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 blah. Okay, cfc submit. Okay, password dot value. So okay, we know what happened. We didn't change this, so because of that we didn't had anything for name password. So obviously we want to do that. We have type and everything now named password, and because of that now we can refresh and we can put up Anuj at the rate codeforcurls.org, password short and complete. Check, submit, and we got it. Okay, we got our email, we got password short and URL. Everything is working perfectly fine in this. Okay, so now the next thing that we have to do is we have to send this information to the server. We have created the form, we have got the information, and now what we simply want to do is we want to send it to the server. Okay, everybody is comfortable till this point. The data should be in the event parameter. You should not get from the document. Yes, the things that I'm doing right now are not following the standards. Right now I'm using the minimalistic things so that it is more suitable for the audience. Okay, so don't worry about these things. I'm not following the exact standard procedure for everything. It is more toward keeping the things simple so that within an hour you're able to create something awesome. Okay, don't worry if I don't follow the standard procedure in these kind of things. Cool, cool. Hmm. So we got the information, and what we want to do now is we want to send an Axios call. Okay, we want to put them an Axios post, and for that, what we will do first, we have to install Axios in our libraries. Okay, what Axios is? Axios is a simple library that can help us to send REST API requests. Okay, for get request, post request, and these kind of things. Cool. Okay, so it is a JavaScript library and it will send this information. So what simply want to do, we install, sorry, copy and paste this. Okay, now we have this Axios library and we will use it for get and post. So as simple as that, we want to send this information Axios dot post. Okay, for that we need to uh, provide a location like admin slash URLs. We want to create a post request. For this, we want to send our data to this location, and then when you are able to completely send the data, you will get the response from this location, and we will showcase what you got. Okay, we will console log the response that you got. Okay, as simple as that. We will just console log the response you got from this post. Okay, but at the same time, what we have to do on the server side, we want to create a post. Okay, on admin slash URLs. This is the location, right? Yes. And we want to showcase the data that we are getting from here. Console log request.body. Request.body is the body that we want right now here. Okay, it is a good thing that we can get information like this, but there's a limitation. Okay, because right now we have the data coming in as JSON, like JavaScript project notation, but there should be some parser for it. Okay, there should be something that can understand the thing that I'm sending from that side. Okay, because otherwise what will happen, that it will simply say that it is not able to get anything here on this location. Okay, let me just showcase what I'm talking about. Like if I restart this, okay, and on this page I'm sending this email and there's some password, there's this short, there's this complete, and I'm sending this. Okay, so I'm getting undefined here. Why I'm getting undefined? Because I'm not able to process the part of the body. Okay, and how to process the part of body? For that we installed something, body parser. Okay, good. So we will require the body parser, body parser. Awesome. Body parser. Great. And in this app dot use this body parser dot JSON. Just this. And now when I rerun this, okay, and submit, we are getting the information. Booyah. Okay, we are getting the information on the server. We have got the information like email, password, short, and URL. When we are sending from the browser, it is hitting the API request on the server, and we are getting that information on the server. Okay, right now we can deploy this application on like AWS or GCP, and the everything, like the front end part, someone can send the request and get the response, thing like that. And on the server part, you can just get the information and process that. Okay, so that part is ready. And now what we want to save this information in the database. Okay, and the second part that we want to create, that is the get part. Okay, where what we are saying is that if we get a request from the client, like this URL, this short, we want to get what exactly the params that we are getting, and maybe request dot send, sorry, response dot send, we will redirect you to short. Okay, it is right now it is not much. It is simply saying that okay, so we will get this information. This short is request.params.short, because this request.params are the path parameters that we are having from here. Okay, please, okay. Thank you. I'm curious. In the beginning, you put Firebase admin body parser. What is all that about? Okay, so we have already covered the body parser. The next thing that we will be doing, for the database and authentication. In this session, because of the time shortage, I'm not using authentication with Firebase admin, but Firebase admin can provide, Firebase can provide a awesome functionality about, authentication as well. Right now, I will be using only the database part of the Firebase, but I will showcase how exactly it is very easy to use all other features of Firebase as well. Okay, right now I'm simply saying that if we have this short, right now this short, we will get the parameters, and we can simply say that okay, I will redirect to this particular location. Okay, So if we are able to create something like this, if we are able to create something like, this, and like I can say booyah. It is saying we will redirect you to booyah. Obviously, we will not get redirected right now because, yeah, it is JavaScript, guys. Nikhil, it is JavaScript. Don't worry about that. So right now the next thing that we have to create is we have to create the Firebase integration, because without Firebase integration you are like, okay, bhai, kya ho gaya? What exactly is happening? I'm not exactly storing anything on the database. I'm not getting anything. So what is the benefit? Okay, so for that, yep, here I will create, I will open Firebase console. Okay, we have this Firebase console. Firebase is a product by Google in which you can create awesome projects. Okay, so like I want to create a project. Probably let's name it shorten. Shorten. Okay, I'm not enabling analytics to it. Create the project. Why didn't analytics? Because it will take more time. If I add analytics, it will create analytics account and things like that, and I don't want to get involved in that right now. I only want to showcase how exactly you can integrate database with the help of the Firebase. We don't want analytics and things like that. Okay, we have created the project shortener, and the things I want to add in this is this Firestore. Firestore is for database authentication. We have real-time database. We have storage. We have hosting. We have Firebase function and machine learning. Okay, like if you want to find faces from the image and things like that, all things are here. And generally, for the starter, approximately everything is free, so you don't have to worry about that. The thing that we are taking care of is this database. So simply we have to create a database, and we will create that in the production mode itself. Next, after this set, you cannot change the location. I don't want to change the location. Would you say that Firestore is better than the normal Firebase DB? Okay, so Firebase have two type of database: real-time database and Firestore. Okay, so what is different? So normal Firestore, uh, it depend on the requirement. If you have like you want to update at location and you want like a webhook, you want updates to propagate, then I will suggest that okay, real-time database is good. But if it is only about the query, then the kind of generalization and the kind of pace the Firestore is providing, it is much better. Okay, because the kind of data you can put in it, especially in the free tier, that is much more than the real-time database. And the kind of data you can put in, because it is if you see, uh, Firestore is much more like MongoDB. Okay, so if you are comfortable doing operation in MongoDB, you will not find Firestore any different. But real-time database is quite different. The kind of schemas it use and things, those are quite different. Okay, and if I showcase this special part in this, like this collection part, collection are the tables kind of thing. Then in the collection you have document, and documents are like rows that you have. Okay, so if we have made this part in this, and we simply want to integrate that particular database that we want to create here and use here, what simply we can do, okay, what simply we can do from here is we can say that in this project overview, we want to go to the project settings, and in the service account we want to create a JSON, and we want to add it to our code. Okay, we want a node application, obviously. So, for that we will need this code and part to the JSON that we will create here. Boom, show in Finder. We have this, and in our ws.js, we copy this file, and boom, we have this file here. Okay, we have this file, and what we need to do, uh, when we require it, we have to say that it is in this location, this file is here. So what we said, that we required, like we required other libraries, we required this Firebase admin, and we took up this file, JSON file, and we integrated it as an admin, and we provided this credentials, and now it is connected. Everything we wanted with it is done. So now if we, I simply want to showcase one GET request with this. Like if we have this Firebase connected and we come to this um, cloud store, and we say that we want to create a database. We want to create a database like URLs DB. Okay, and we create a simple, single row with it. We say that if I ask you to go to YT, then go to our code for cause YouTube. Okay, that youtube.com/code for cause, as simple as that. I ask here that the URL you will point toward is this. Save. Okay, so it created a table, and in that table you have a row where you say that URL is pointing toward this location. Okay, as simple as that. So now what we want, that in our this get location, we want our URLs database. Okay, so for that we say that const URLs DB is equal to admin dot collections. We have admin here, so sorry, firestore dot collection, and which collection we want, this URLs DB. Okay, this name should match, this name, the string that we are providing, that name should match here, because this is the collection that we want. Okay, and now what we want from this is that when we have got short, okay, we have got this URL we are pointing toward, what we simply want is URLs DB dot doc, that document that we want, with the help of this short. Okay, cool. This const doc that we have here, and now what we want, that short dot get, we want to get this document. Okay, and when we're able to get this document, then we will have response from here. Okay, cool. And either this response will be empty or non-empty. Okay, so what we want, sorry, this response will never be empty, but response dot data will either be empty or not empty, depending on if const data is equal to, if we have this short in the database or not. If we have this short in the database, then we will get all the information of the row here, okay, in this data. Okay, so what we can say, that if we have this data, if this is not undefined, and we have a URL in it, okay, so this data have a URL, then what we simply want to do, we want to get that URL and put up a redirection request, that is response dot redirect to, with the help of a 301 status code, redirect to this location, this data.url. Booyah. Okay, so what we're simply saying, that with the help of Firebase, sorry, not short, I did a very terrible thing, not short.get, document.get. We want to get from this document, from this document.get, we will get this all information. Okay, or if you are confused, the kind of information that we are getting from this, what we can do that, simply console log this, console dot log this. Okay, simple as that. Simply console log this. Don't worry about redirecting. We can do that on the next version of this. Just simply provide this information that you're getting. Okay, so let us suppose I say localhost 3000 slash yt here. We will redirect you to yt, but at the same time we are getting this short yt, and the url that we want is this information. Okay, so this url we have, and if we just remove this line and just put this if, okay, and in else case we want to provide an error. Okay, we want to provide, or maybe we want to redirect it to like our website. Okay, like redirect it. If if you put anything wrong, we put you to probably error page or something like that. So, or maybe just our code for call website, like https code for course.org. Okay, if you put anything wrong, then you will simply redirect it to our code for cause website. Okay, slash yt. Sorry, we have to remove this line as well. Okay, it will redirect us to YouTube. And if I do localhost 3000 and something else, boom. Sorry. Oh, we were not able to redirect because of this. We were putting up wrong thing here. This was not https. Because of that, it was not able to redirect, and in the console log you will see we were not able to redirect because it was not the right thing to do. Okay, some random stuff, and it will redirect us to our code for cause website. Make sense? So, or you can put up any other page that if you don't have the data, then redirect to this page. If you have the data, then redirect to that page. Okay, so with the help of this, we were able to create half part of the functionality. Okay, so we were able to create that if you get a particular url, then you can create a shorten shimla. If there is direct information corresponding to that in the database, then you can use that, and you can create the shortened part, and then your request will redirect to that. But at the same time, you want that from that page, that the page you had, if you have that username and password, you should be able to create more you should be able to create more shortened urls. Where is Kunal? There's this question from Krish. Where is Kunal Bhaiya been so long? So Kunal is on trip for a few days to Vrindavan and Mathura. He will be back by third, and on third, probably if you have seen, there is a session of Kunal with uh, hmm, yeah, there on third there is a session of Kunal. So you guys can go check out our YouTube as well for that. But after this, right now, let me just finish up the last few things that we have got left. Only thing that we have got left is that if there is a user, then check that, and if you are authorized user, then you can create a new URL. As simple as that. Okay, okay, so we were here, we got URLs DB. At the same time, what we want is a users DB. Okay, users DB, URLs DB and users DB. Boo. Okay. So what to do with this users DB? In this post request, we want to get the user. Okay. We want to get just one second. Will the code be available on GitHub? Yes, it will be available on GitHub. I have been saying this many times in the session. After any session of ours is done, whenever we do any session, we put the code on GitHub. You can, after the session, I will just make sure that I will remove this JSON file because it is pointing to my database. I will remove this file. You can put your file in here. After following the steps of creating the database on the Firebase, you can put up your JSON file here and you will be good to go. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can ask in the comment below. You don't have to worry about that. Cool. So what were you saying? What were we saying that when we got this post request, we want to first check the user. Okay, that if we have the user or not. So like we had this, body const body, or maybe we want to open up the information that we have. We want email, password, short, and URL from request.body. Okay, we had these information from request.body, and the next thing that we want to do is from these information, okay, because we have all these information, so from this email we want from this users db that we had, users db dot doc email dot get. Okay, cool. And in this doc, what will happen, that we will get a response. Okay, and if we have got the user, okay, const user, then what we can say, const user is equal to this response but body. Boom. Okay, just console log this, that are you able to get a user for this information. Okay, if you're able to get the user, then you can proceed further. Okay, if we want to complete more things at this point only, if there is a user, then we can proceed with more stuff. Okay, if we have the user, then we want to also check the password. Okay, if there's a user, and next thing is user dot this user have an email which is equal to the email that we are providing. Okay, and this user also have password, this is equal to the password that we are providing. Okay, if these are three things that we can complete, then you are an authenticated person. Okay, you're an authenticated person, and then I will allow you something. I will allow you to do what? I will allow you to save the shortened part and the complete part that you wanted to generate. Okay, and for that, what we have to do? We have to connect with URLs DB. Okay, to the URLs DB dot doc, and which doc? This short part we want to put here. This is our doc, const doc, and on this doc we want to set, okay, what? Our URL. Okay, our URL. Boom. Okay, and after this part is done, we can simply say that you can response dot send done. Okay, But if doesn't happen, okay, so we want to say that we were not able to find this user. Okay, the only case that can happen in this case is that we are not able to find the user, and for that we can say that on the response.send we want to see forbidden, that you are not able to do it. 403 not possible. Awesome. Right now we only created one form, but you could create multiple form with that, right? So can we hide a Bitcoin miner? um that depends. Okay. Okay, so we were here and we had this form. Okay, but we haven't created our users DB. Okay, so for that we create users DB here, and we say that with the help of Anuj at the rate code for cause.org, we want a password quitty. Okay, as simple as that. Basic password. Sorry, on this, and then password. There's a mistake. We are not asking for username. No, we are not asking for username. That is fine. Email is the same email. Save. We have this users DB. In this Anuj at the rate code for cause.org, we have email Anuj at the rate code for cause.org, and we have this password quitty. Okay. So in the same case, if we want on our HTML that when we submit, if it is able to submit it, if it was able to submit, we wanted to put an alert generated generated, and if it fails, dot catch. Then we want to say alert failed. Okay, the simple one. Cool. Instead of Anuj, team, we want Anuj. We want password petty. We want short. Let us suppose this workshop, and it should point us to, let us suppose, our current video that we are watching today. Boom, submit. Let's see if we were able to do it. Okay, we did some mistake. We have to check what we did. Response.body is not a function. Just 1 second. Where we did response.body? On the line 50. Oh, sorry. On this doc we have data. Okay, it is not body, it is data. Cool. Submit again. Okay, generated. Boom. And If we check on the Firebase URLs DB, we have the new shortened WS, and it is pointing toward our today's webinar. We can go for this local host 1000 slash workshop, and it is opening our session. Cool. So we wanted to create only this. We are able to create a form. So if you want to create more user, you can create a form for that. If you want to authenticate with the help of Firebase, there is a functionality for that. For Firebase have functionality for machine learning. It have functionality for this kind of database creation, where you can save your data, you can fetch more data, you can create tables and these kind of things. And because it can manage semi-structured data, it is much more convenient in that dimension. Okay, so probably you liked the session, and if you like the session, you can also check out the courses that Code for Cause is now offering. You can take a look at different data structures algorithm courses that we are putting up. There is awesome the 6-month courses that we have, especially the most I like is this web development track. If you are in 4th year, you can take a look. It is of 6 months. We will start from the data structure algorithm from the ground zero part. You will understand data structure algorithms in JavaScript. You can take a look at the information here. Okay, so you can open this up, you can see how things are happening, if you like something or not. Okay, and one more is our DSL go with Java and competitive programming. So these two are awesome, and obviously machine learning is always awesome, but these are the things I want your attention on right now. Okay, so you can take a look there, and that's it for today. I really enjoyed the session with you guys, and if you also like the session, you can put that in the comments, and Kunal will be with you guys on third. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.